Yo, what is good YouTube? Welcome to the channel. Today I want to show you guys how to wrap the interior of your Lexus IS with carbon fiber vinyl. The car originally came with this wood looking material, which I ain't even gonna cap to y'all. It's not my style, so we're gonna go ahead and switch that up. So let's get to it. Alright, so these are the tools you'll need. A heat gun, screwdriver, a pair of scissors, an X-Acto knife, and a plastic trim removal tool. Then you also need a microfiber towel with some isopropyl alcohol to help clean the pieces off. And of course the Vvivid high gloss vinyl that we're going to be using as well. So we're going to go ahead and start removing all the trim pieces. With the pry tool, you want to just lift up on the corners to pop the pieces out. And most of the tabs are on the corners, so you can use a little bit of force without having to worry about breaking it. So before removing the center console, you want to unscrew the shift knob and make sure to put the car in neutral in order to remove it. If not, it's just going to get caught up with the shifter. So the center console is the same as the other pieces. You just want to lift up on the corners, and it is a little bit heavier than the other pieces, so you might have to use some pressure. So the reason you see me struggling to pull it out is because there's supposed to be two Phillips screws holding down the coin holder, but it wasn't there, so just make sure to take those screws out. And then once you get all the pieces out, you can go ahead and pull out the connectors by just pressing down on the plastic tab. Alright, so now that we got all the pieces removed, we're going to go ahead and start taking it apart to make it easier for us to wrap. This piece has two tabs. You just press down on it and it'll pop right out. And the center console mostly just has Phillips screws, so we can flip it over and start taking those screws out. And with this cup holder piece, you just want to close it and pry it out, and it'll just come right off. So now we want to go ahead and wipe down all the pieces with the microfiber towel and the isopropyl alcohol, and make sure to get all the corners to help the vinyl stick to a clean surface. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and start off wrapping the center console. To help the vinyl stay in place while taking the backing paper off, I just use some blue painter's tape to hold it down while I lay the vinyl down. Once it's off, you can go ahead and take your time to lay the piece down. And then once you have it lined up and straight, you can start heating the vinyl up in sections. I started with the top half first, and when heating it up, you don't want to be too close and you don't want to be too far either. So just keep a good distance and make sure the heat gun is moving to avoid burning through the vinyl. So any air bubbles that you see, you want to either press it down, or you can lift up the vinyl and let the air bubble out, and then just lay it back flat. So now we can use the X-Acto knife to start trimming out the pieces. So you can either cut around or just cut an X in the middle so you don't cut too much off at first. Once you do that, what I like to do is cut a slit at each corner to release some tension so that once we heat it up, it'll allow the vinyl to fold over nicely. Then you want to trim out any excess vinyl at the bottom, give it more heat and press down to make sure it sticks before trimming it even more. And once that's trimmed off, what I do, I just heat up the whole center console and press down on the opening to allow the vinyl to really mold to the sharp cuts. Once you trim all the other pieces, the middle piece is the piece you want to take your time on. You want to carefully use the X-Acto knife to trim around all the sharp corners where the shifter is to give it a clean look. And then you can take your time to trim the pieces even more just to get that clean cut all the way around. Real quick, I just want to mention, before wrapping these two pieces, you want to make sure that the carbon fiber pattern and lines match up with the main center console piece. You don't want to finish wrapping the piece and the pattern from the main piece to the second piece don't match up. So let's get back to the video. So it's basically the same process. You want to heat up, slightly stretch and pull, cut all the excess vinyl off. Same steps apply for the window pieces. You just go ahead and heat it up. Slightly stretch and pull around the corners. Trim around the cutouts. And it's done. Now once all the pieces are wrapped, we can start putting them back together. It's basically just the reverse of how we took it all off. And if you don't remember, you can just follow along and watch me put them back together. So this is the final result of all the pieces that I wrapped. I didn't want to put all the pieces in the video because it would have been way too long, but it all came out really good and the quality of the vinyl is good too. I would recommend it. It's really easy to work with, and I'll leave a link to everything I use in the description. Now let's go ahead and put the pieces back in the car. With each piece, you want to make sure to plug the connectors back in and just put all the pieces in until you hear it click. I appreciate you if you made it this far in the video. I will be making more Lexus content in the future, so stay tuned for that. Like this video if you found this helpful, and comment what you want to see me do next. Peace out.